So, it's good that you both decided to do this topic, lessons learned from the past two financial crises, right? Why did you guys decide to do this story really?
So the reason why we decided to do the story is because we are actually bouncing some ideas while having lunch. It was very, very productive.
Okay.
We're talking about how we are currently in the late cycle and a recession is coming,
Okay.
but we don't know when, right? And then I told her that my dad, during the financial crisis, because I asked him, so during the financial crisis, his pay was actually restructured.
Okay.
So my siblings and I, all 8 of us, is a lot to handle.
Okay.
So we had to do budget restructuring for my family,
Okay.
and we had to live off of nothing, basically. So we thought that it would be a good idea for us to revisit this topic and see
Okay.
how other people have handled their situation back then.
All right. So you spoke to 4 industry experts, right? Now, more frequently these days, people are mentioning the R word, recession. It's really scary, and all of us, I would say, probably too young to even remember what happened back then. But these people that you interviewed, 4 of them, they hustled to get to where they are now. What did they say?
I think there are a few of the common things that they all mentioned. One, I think the strongest message was in terms of financial literacy.
Okay.
So all 4 of them, after the crisis, they had to learn really hard how to invest, how to save, how to have emergency funds. And I think one story that really stood out to me was from Lynette. She's the president of Financial Planning Association, and she basically told me her life story between 97 and 08. Financial literacy was the thing that made the difference because she became a single mother 97, and so she had to learn from the ground up, like how to support her family, how to invest, how to have a financial plan.
Your respondents agreed on one thing, and that is young people like you and I should sort of live within our means. But for me personally, it's something that is easier said than done. I mean, what do you think? Things these days are really expensive. Is it possible?
It is definitely possible in a way. That you need to be, like I said, you need to have a good financial literacy. And also one thing that our interviewees said was that make sure that you don't take too much debt than you can handle. So, because getting a debt is very, very easy, but paying it back is very, very difficult, especially in very, very hard times. And in these hard times, definitely the resources are not enough for everyone, so don't expect cash handouts, which is something that some of us might be guilty of. Like entrepreneurs, we like to hang on to grants and things like that.
True.
This is definitely not something that we should depend on during bad times.
So they also spoke about investing, but how does one, really start?
It's actually very easy. All of them spoke about how you need to have a financial plan, different portfolios for different goals like retirement, education, diversify across different asset classes, fund houses, have emergency funds in cash because that is what will tide you over, and only invest in what you know.
Yeah, because Gary Yao, one of our interviewees, actually told me that he bought stocks for one company that was recommended to him by a friend,
and it
he
didn't
lost
work out.
a lot of money from that. And so what happened was, afterwards he realized that was a mistake, and he should have at least studied the fundamentals of the companies that he wanted to invest in. So he attended lots of classes and he found value investing, and so he started really learning about value investing, learning about how you can determine a good company and how to invest in them, essentially. So right now he's actually teaching people value investing so that other people don't follow his footsteps.
All right, so some people say that round 3 of financial crisis might happen. Some say it's not going to happen, but is it time for us to hit the panic button then?
I think all of them say that you can't time the market, so do not try. Always have consistently top up your investment, always save, because they can say that there's increasing risk of recession, but you will never know when.
It's true.
So all of them basically said, don't panic, just do as usual, but make sure that you save a lot.
For more on the stories, pick up a copy of The Age Weekly at all good newsstands.